Hi everyone, welcome to part 3 of this video from the planner for this week. I thought today we would work on quite a lot of these sort of corally bits, just because there's a lot and we could get quite a chunk done hopefully. So I'm going to come in a lot closer to make it a bit easier. And what I think I'm going to do is to try and keep it quite simple. So for these loopy bits and for this sort of outside bits, I'm going to use one shade of pink, and then for the sort of inside areas, for those that do have insides, like that one doesn't, use a different shade of pink. And I think that that will hopefully make it a little bit easier. Now I'm going to start with 23 for my sort of darker pink, so it's gone really shadowy. That is it's called Bordeaux. And it's rather a pretty colour, I think, and that's where I'm going to start. Now I'm using my Ergosofts again, but it's a really hot and sticky day, and it's 2:30ish in the afternoon when I'm recording this, and so I'm a bit worried that they're going to go all sticky in my hand. The barrels of my Ergosofts tend to go sort of sticky and nasty after a while, especially if it's hot. So I've just actually gone and washed my hands with lots of soap and hot water to try and make sure my hands aren't sticky for any reason already, and we'll see how we go. But I was actually using Staedtler pencils before I started recording this on a completely different page, and I was going to use the Ergosofts and I could start to feel them going a bit icky. So I gave up and used the Design Journey instead, which is a big advantage. I think this is why they've discontinued Ergosofts, because of all the complaints of them being sticky. In fact, I was one person who complained, so I'm sorry. And, you know, asked them. I didn't complain, really. I just said to them, what can I do to prevent this happening? They sent me a whole free set and said send some in and we're testing them, and would test them and see what's going on and that sort of thing. But, you know, obviously the only solution is to have a shiny paint, I think. But I don't know why they didn't keep the Ergosofts and just change the barrels. But anyway, they just went for a completely new sort of set. So there we go. But anyway, I think, yeah, as the Ergosofts have been discontinued, so I think you can still buy them at the moment, as far as I'm aware, but the Design Journey have exactly the same colours in, and I think they're equally vibrant. They feel pretty similar to me. I can't really tell a big difference, so I'm happy with them as a replacement. The only problem is none of them are open stock. I always thought that Ergosoft were, because Cult Pens used to sell them open stock, but they weren't. Apparently Cult Pens used to buy big, I don't think they bought sets though. Pretty sure they said they bought boxes of 12, which is open stock in my opinion. So I'm not sure what happened anyway, but there we go. So this is all plain colouring at the moment. I'm just trying to get some dark outlines done. What's happening with this one? I'm going to put one there. Yeah. So yeah, it's Saturday. I don't normally record on a Saturday with the family around. I've gone over the line by mistake, so I'm going to do that one as well. It was intentional. Yeah, their family have gone off to get their hair cut. So I thought I would come and record another part of this. I haven't actually done any editing either, and it's Saturday and planner videos have to come out on Monday, so I need to get a move on really, especially as I'm out all day tomorrow. But I will get this done. I wanted to get this done today anyway. Yesterday I sort of ran out of energy for it. Not because of the page, it was for talking. I sort of ran out of things to say, so I thought I would just finish it today. So, and what's been happening today, I can fill you in. We've had quite an exciting morning. As I'm out all day tomorrow, we're having a late Father's Day celebration because my dad was on holiday when it was Father's Day. So we're having a family get together tomorrow at his house, which is lovely. I'm looking forward to that. And So normally on a Sunday I do all my chores, I do all my cleaning, my ironing, washing, things like that. So I do washing in the week as well. But so I had to do that today, which is fine. I've done it already, which is nice, got it all done. But what's that? I don't know. I think I'm going to colour it red. Well, start pink Bordeaux. So got all that done, but we also had our Juliet balcony railings removed. For those that don't know, Juliet balcony is like a you have double doors, French doors. They're quite narrow doors, and they open into the room, but because they're on the first and second floor, or if you're in America, second and third floor, so upstairs and then upstairs again, just to clarify. It gets confusing, doesn't it? Then they have a railing so that you can lean out over the railing. You're not going to fall out the window, which wouldn't be good, would it? So we have these, and the railings are the original ones from when the houses were built, and every so often we get someone in to paint them, but they are so rusty and the paint is bubbling and chipping. And actually when we had that amazing terrific hailstorm and thunder and rain, and oh my goodness, a lot of the paint actually washed off onto my window. Not the paint itself, but you know, the bits that were coming off. We have a few more bits down here, so we're going to carry on. It came off onto the window, so they're really bad. I'd already arranged for these people to come. Now a chap came with his friend. They had a ladder each side, and they removed them and put them in the garden for now. And then a company are going to come and pick them up apparently on Monday. I haven't heard from them myself. This is what the chappie said. And they're going to take them back to their factory. They're going to sandblast them and remove all the paint and rust, and then fabricate them. I get the impression from a few people that I've spoken to that they put a layer of something on them and then they put it in the oven and bake it so that it won't come off and it won't rust. So I'm promised for at least 20 years, so that will make the house look a lot nicer on the front. On the back, we're actually getting a new balcony. We've got a proper balcony on the back that you can step out on, and I've just had a quote for having it redone in glass. It's going to give us a lot more light. It's going to look a lot nicer. So yeah, having done our kitchen last summer, we're having some outside jobs done this summer. But yeah, so today my plan was to clear the garden of leaves and then do all the housework. I got up, went shopping first, food shopping, which we always do on Saturday morning too. Came home and it was absolutely boiling, and I'd already done some of the cleaning. I cleaned the bathrooms and the kitchen surfaces, you know, not the floors already. So I thought, oh, that's fine, I'll get on and do the garden. It was far too hot, so the gardening hasn't been done, but the leaves just need picking up. And I had a go the other day and spent half an hour or so picking up leaves, put them into a bag, I probably said in a previous video, and I got loads up and you can't even see that I've done anything. So I need to have another session. I've decided what I'm going to do, because my bin is full. I'm just going to bag them up and leave the bags in the garden, and then slowly put them in the bin as I can. I'm just checking, I think that's done. So the pink that I like to put together with this Bordeaux is the number 25, which is the pink. It's just called pink. I'm going to start at the top. Now these, I'm not going to colour. Is it going to be? No, I'm not going to colour them in. So I'm going to leave those empty and these, but I'm going to start here. I'm going to try to colour the bottom part darker than the top edge, to just make them get a bit lighter towards the edges. And I'm just going to do that on all of these. Now this one is obviously hollow, it's got the grass growing through it. I'll put that one the same. just then they match. I don't think we've got many others that are just loops. I find that quite interesting. Do those exist? Or is that just something that Johanna does because it's fun? I've got no idea. Now I have the plan to do some soft pastel work in the background. We've got a lot of background going on here. I haven't got them in here, but I grabbed them. And this side, we've got a line here, look. So I think this is some sort of stone cliff type thing that's coming down from the, you know, above the water and below the water. Like it could just be a huge rock, I suppose, but something like that. So that I'm thinking, you know, we're going to want it in maybe a brownish colour rather than the other side here, which is going to be water. So we sort of need two different colours. I want to make it quite pale and subtle in the background because these pencils aren't really vibrant. If I do a really dark colour, it's just going to go over the top of everything. Now, because we're looking into the sea, we could put our pastel all over the top of everything and make it look like you are looking through the water. And that is an idea that I might do. Someone's wheeling something down the road. It's a very odd sound. They were doing that the other day. My son told me what it was. I can't remember now. Someone was wheeling something up the road. He wouldn't tell me. He's going, Mum, you're too nosy. I'm not going to tell you. And they was laughing and laughing. So I went over to him and I said, I'm going to poke your belly until you tell me. He giggles when his belly's poked. I didn't even get to poke him before he told me what it was, and now I can't remember. I think he said it was something really boring. Oh, it was a lawnmower. That's right. It's a lawnmower. And someone was wheeling a lawnmower down the road. It's quite unusual. I thought it was quite interesting. A bit more interesting than a skateboard or something like that. Anyway. He's just, Mother, you're too nosy. And I'm like, well, you looked out. So yes, but it was very nice yesterday. They finished their final exam. Well, my one son had his final exam, the other one, so now they're 17, they'll be 18 in August. I'm like, right, well now you're adults, you get to choose your own bedtime, you know, that's that. So they stayed up later last night. They went to bed at the same time as me, actually. But I said to them, you know, if you want showers, I want you to have a shower before I go to bed, because I don't want you disturbing me. They all shower in my ensuite bathroom because it's nicest to shower. So I don't want you showering there when I'm... And I told them what time I go to bed at 10. So one son said, I'll have a shower in the morning. I was like, okay. The other one had one. I said, I also want you to brush your teeth before 10. They've got electric toothbrushes, it's quite noisy. So they did that, so they were good boys. And that actually ended up going to bed at 10. I'm just going to overcolour this rather than trying to do any shading because they're round. Yeah, they got up early this morning. They knew they had to be up because I'd asked them to help me with the jobs, because what we also did, as well as our sort of normal clean and tidy and shop, I wanted them to come with me shopping because they need to start helping out. I was actually trying to get them out for a walk, but because the men were coming to remove the I'm just plain colouring this because the men were coming to do the raidings, we had to get back, so we didn't get our walk. But anyway, they came shopping so they could choose a special meal for tonight, having a little celebration meal, although my one son's going off to a party after. But anyway, we can have our celebration meal first. Oh, that circle probably should have been coloured grey, shouldn't it? But never mind, it is now pink. Okay, so there is that all done, the coral. I'm just checking. Now we have, ooh, we have the eel and the starfish. I'm going to do the starfish first. I'm not going to use the Goldie number 16, the ochre, because I've used that already for fish and no, for these things. So I'm going to use the 11, which is the sand. for the sort of tips, I'm pressing quite hard on the ends. I want to burnish this in, because if I use a dark coloured pastel on here, which actually I've got a lot of other colours going on, I don't want it to go into the yellow and change the colour. And I'm going to use number 1 for the rest. So he's not all exactly the same colour. Now Mr. Eel, seems fine to view. I'm going to do you in purple. I'm going to get the lilac-y colour, I think it's called lavender, isn't it, 62, and do all of him in this in one light layer. And then I'm going to put in a few darker details. I think that's the easiest way to deal with him. Now he's got all these scales. It's so difficult to colour each little individual one that I'm not going to worry about doing that. I've seen people done it, have the I've seen people's work where they have done that and it looks very good, but I'm not. And actually it might be in the original book, and it's possible that it's a bit bigger in there. Now I'm going to rush him a bit because I'm not having fun with him. This is the number 6, which is the violet, and I'm going to do these bits in this colour. It's just a noisy car, and then go over these lines a little bit more, and then this bit. He is quite cute. It's just, he looks like a snake. I'm scared of them. And it's really silly, but it's just one of those things. I'm going to make that bit in there a bit darker and a bit lighter towards the edges. Maybe a bit dark on the top. Give it a bit more shape. And his eye, just the same as the fish, so a little bit of the grey. Sorry, number 80. Sorry, that was in a rush. I just want to get him done. Sorry, there we go. Right, he's done. Right, we have this potion bottle. What colour should we do for the potion? It's magic, isn't it? What colour's magic? It's half in the what's going to be the water. I know. I would use this colour. This is the 61. This is the dark mauve. I'm using it quite dark so that it looks a different colour to the pink that's next to it. Like that. And I'm going to use my grey again, the 80. To do the sort of glass bit. That's as far as it'll go in. I kept my finger on the button thinking it was stuck. It wasn't. That's as far as it goes. So I'm just putting a bit on the edges. I'm trying to leave a bit of white shine in the middle. It's so tiddly widdly. For the cork, I'm just going to grab the number 49. Sorry, I'm a bit sniffy today. My son's hay fever is really bad, but the hay fever tablets he takes, he's not allowed to drink. He's going to a party tonight, so he's like, he just can't take them. This little tree here, I'm going to do in number 56. I'm just going to block it in because I like this colour. Is that a good reason? Oh, I can feel this one's getting a bit sticky. Oh well. I did try once putting tissue around them and things like that, but it was just vile. It was bits of it stuck and bits of it rubbed off. It was ick. We have the grassy bits. Now we did the grass bits here. I think we'd do them similarly. Rather than we used 5, then 52, then 50 for these. Sorry, I'm pointing at them, you can't see for these. For these little ones, we'd just use 52 and 50 because they're much smaller. If you can't cope with 2 colours, just do 1. But I'm just going to try. This side's easier. Can you still see? I haven't gone out of shot now. There we go. And then, as I said, oops, number 50. Can't get it out. Number 50. I'm trying to straighten this because I've got a grid pattern on my screen, so I can keep things a bit straighter because I always take my photos wonky. And I just try to straighten this, but of course it's not straight in the picture. If I straighten the paper, it looks like that. Right, we have buildings. I think it's quite nice to keep them a similar colour, so they sort of tie together. I'm trying to think what to use. We haven't used any red, or yeah, let's use this red. I think, no, I don't think we've used it. This is 29, which is actually called carmine red, and I'm going to use that for the 3 roofs. I'm going to make it darker on the outside and then a bit less as we come to the middle, like that. It's just so hot today. It's and we can't now, because we haven't got any railings on our front of our house, we can't open the doors, it's too dangerous. My son was like, "Oh, just open it a little bit." I was like, "No, I can't cope." I know everyone's sensible, but no. So we have got a few windows as well, and we can open the back of the house, which actually at this time of day the back is a bit cool. It's beginning to get a bit cooler. The front is much cooler in the morning. Okay. I'm wondering whether to continue this colour through a few other elements. I'm thinking maybe the window frames as well. These are quite fine. Do your best. There are all sorts of cars outside. See, if I was in the other room I'd go and have a nosy. But I'm not, so I can't. I'm such a nosy person. My son thinks it's awful. I'll say, "Oh, what's your friends doing for this?" and "What you're to mother?" We don't ask them those questions. You're so nosy. Sorry. I'm going to use number 2. This is the red for these sort of edgy bits. I'm still just doing plain colouring. I'm not doing any shading because we've got thin lines and are sort of creating borders really. This one's a bit thicker, but I think I'm still going to keep it plain. I might keep it all plain colouring. You don't always have to do fancy shading and shadows. You can just keep it plainer if you wish. Now, oh, it's a loud siren. What I'm not sure about is whether to do the colour of the seawater the same within this little domed area or different. You know, I think it would be the same. But why is it in the dome? I don't know. I have to ask Johanna. This little plant here, which I haven't done, I think I'm going to use a slightly brownish colour. In fact, I might use the... Yeah, I'm going to use the 16. Why haven't I done the rest of the houses? Because I haven't decided what colour to do them yet. So I'm going to move along and do this first. I'm also going to do the snail. Is the snail in shot? Yeah, there he is. Because, oops, he's 76. I might forget him otherwise. I'm going to do his shell in brown. I'm going to make it a bit dark on the edges and the middle. It's quite a brown thing now. Oh well. A bit late now. and then I'm going to do his body in grey. I'm going to try and make the shell dark on the edge, just over colour it a bit more. And then the number 8 for his body. Let's put him down a little bit so you can see him. There we go. There he is. Now with our buildings, I think I am just going to go with the orange, the 24, which isn't called Scarlet Red, but I always think it looks quite orangey. Just keep the buildings like this. Sorry, I'm just going to wipe my nose. Actually, I'm just going to stop the film and do that and grab my pastels. Right, I am back. And it wasn't because I wanted to nosy outside, but of course I did nosy outside while I was walking about, but there was nothing there. So whatever it was that was making all the noise is gone now. Ah, never mind. Now I'm just block colouring this. I'm not shading it. I don't know why. It's just what I decided to do. It's just how I did it. That's how my hand did it. I wouldn't know how to shade this bit. I mean, you might want a bit of shadow under the window, but I wouldn't know what else to do really. So I'm quite looking forward to getting to some ivy videos for you soon. I've got quite a selection of bits that I want to do from there. So that would be good. And I'm not sure what else. I've got some Rita Berman pages to do. I've just got something beside me I need to do as well. Secret Squirrel, should I tell you? I'll tell you. It's Agota Pop. She sent me some of her lovely tinies to show you and to colour with you. So I will have to do those soon. Probably not today. I'm getting too hot and I need to get this edited so it's ready. So I will, I haven't got much time as I'm out. The doors, let's just do the doors quickly and then we'll do the windows. I'm getting ahead of myself in my brain. This is number 4. This is the orange and we'll do the doors in orange. Yes, I'm going to finish this and edit it before I make anything else. By the time I finish this, the family will be back anyway. This is number 80. Oops. I'm going to use it for the windows. I'm just going to do some shine marks. Easy peasy. There we go. Now where else and what else have we got? I'm going to get some pastels out and work with those and then see what's left to do after. Oh no, this. I'm going to use the lightest orange, the colour I use for the doors, because we haven't used much. We'll use that for that. I don't know whether it should be grey like it's glass or something, but I don't know. This one's colourful. Okay. Now let's come out so we can see the whole page. There we go. Now these are my pastels. I've shown you them lots of times before, the Mungyo ones. We need to choose some colours. Now for the sea, I think I might use, let's get a pencil to point with, this colour here. It's a sort of bluey green. It's quite light. I think that might be good. For this sort of rock bit, I'm thinking maybe something like this quite palish brown, or even this one. Or if that's a bit too yellow, I might try that one there. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do next. So let's move that to there so you can see. Put my pencil away before I start drawing all over the page. I'm just finding a little cloth. Oh, they're all dirty. Ugh, that one's got a bit of clean on the back. These need a wash. Oh no, hang on, there's a clean one. One clean one-ish. Cleanish one. It's got a little bit used on that side. The other side is clean. It's just stained. Yeah, these need a wash. Goodness. Anyway, so where are we starting? Let's start with the rock. Now I realise this bit is inside. There's a hole there. I'm going to colour over that after, as what I had thought. So I'm going to try this one here for the rock. It's like that. It's not too dark, which was what I wanted. You could use a pencil for this. Maybe like a Holbein pastel pencil, Castle pastel pencil, something in a very light. I think a light is the way to go, but you might rather have dark. If you're using pencils, it'd be easier to control it, so using dark would be better, you know, better than using dark pastel, because of course I'm colouring just right over the top of everything. There's a bit in there. Let's get a bit more. Pop a bit in there. There we go. I'm not going to colour over the top of things unnecessarily, but it's just difficult to get into all the little nooks and crannies, particularly all around here. So I'll just do my best. So there we go. I'm going to do the sea next, and then I must remember to come back and do some work here after. So this one here that I picked out, see the colour, it's sort of a bluey, it's like a light phthalo green, I guess. Now I need to hold the page, just hold it there. I don't want it too dark, so I'm not going to really layer it up or push it down too much into the page. I just want a little bit there, just so it looks like there's sea, but I don't want it really dark. I'm going to try and avoid the fish if I can a bit, but I'm not going to be able to. I'm just hoping that I've burnished it enough so that they don't go blue. That one has. Or green, or whatever it is. Now if you do go over the top of things that you would rather not, you can use an eraser on soft pastels to lift it back off. It isn't 100% effective, as we know with erasers with any sort of coloured mediums, they aren't perfect, because the pastel or pencil will stain the page. So unless you take back lots and lots of layers, you can struggle a little bit. I'll just put a bit in there. I missed that bit there as well. But that's it. It's really quick and light background. So light there, I haven't done it. There we go. It's not amazingly even, but I don't mind. I think it's okay. I think I'd quite like it just a little bit darker near the bottom though. As if it's sort of down at the sea floor, that'd be a bit darker. There we go. So that's the pastels done. I'm just going to put the lid back on them and put them back inside their slipcase so they don't go all over the floor. It has happened many times. There we go. And now I'm going to just work a little bit of pencil in here. Just a sort of finishing touch before I then do a bit of white pen work, and then we'll be done. There we are. So in here, I think that's a little hole. It'll be a little bit darker. I'm going to grab my tobacco brown, which is number 77, and I'm just going to work a light layer of that in here. And you're going on top of the pastel. You could have done this first. I suppose I could have done this before putting the pastel on, but it doesn't really matter. Now I'm not doing it really dark, just a light layer, because I don't want it to really stand out. The rest of it is quite light, so if I go really, really dark and burnish it down, it's going to stand out, and this isn't what I want the focal point of the picture to be. I don't particularly want any specific part to be stand out over any others. So that's that. But also this rim bit, I'm just going to put a little bit of shadow around it. Just to make it stand out a bit more. Like that. I need to put a bit of shadow just under the eel as well, or else it looks a bit weird. Why does that have it and not this? There we go. So that is that bit done. Oh, let's put that pencil down. Let's come back out. Now I'm going to use some white pen just in a few areas. Really just two, I think. Someone's nicked my Posca. Probably me. This is Jerry Roll 10. Hopefully this will do the trick. First, you've got bubbles in here, so I'm just going to go over those in the white. That's my first little job. Just a little blob of each one. I'm wondering if I want any shine on our fish. I might just leaning on here so I don't get pastel all over me, put a bit of shine on their back. That's not going to show up very much on that one. This pen's decided to stop working. The nibs can get a bit clogged. Oh, this one over here too. You don't have to do this bit if you don't want to. Now I'm thinking about this. Is this in a glass dome that needs some white lines across? I sort of think it is, but I could really do with my Posca. I'm just going to grab it, hang about. The Posca comes out a bit thicker, so I feel that it's a bit better for this bit. So I'm sort of doing some lines as if we've got some shine on here, and then I'm thinking, yeah, there we go. I could have done it a bit differently, but I've done it like that now. I'm going to thicken them just a tad, because it's quite pale. Can't really see them. Make them a little bit thicker. They'll be slightly more visible. There we go. Okay, I am, oh, magic potion. These got little stars on it, but they're so small. I'm just going to draw them as dots and put some white dots in it like that. There we go. I knew there was something else, and I'm actually going to put a shine on the edge of the bottle. If it lets me, there we go. So that is that planner page done. I wanted to make it quite colourful, and I think I've achieved that. Sometimes I'm never sure if a really colourful page just looks a little bit messy, but I think it's okay. So all done. Thank you for staying with me for 3 episodes. I think it went on a little bit, but anyway, hopefully you've got something that you like as well. So thank you so much for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.